Welcome to Two Owls Talking Sports. I'm Mike Davidson, as always, with my partner, Overlake's athletic director, John Wiley. John, 3-day weekend for many of us. How'd it go? Did you go see some basketball as well this last weekend?
You know, Mike, I saw a lot of basketball. In fact, I saw 6, 7, 8 games, something like that.
So we will we'll get to the results from this last week in just a minute, but I did want to announce that the ratings are in, and Two Owls Talking Sports is now the #1 podcast focused on Overlake athletics in the world. Worldwide, we're the #1 Overlake sports podcast. So really proud of that. Congratulations.
I also heard we're the #1 podcast in the Emerald Sound Conference.
Yeah, so. That too. So last week, a big week of basketball. We saw a big rivalry game at home, some interesting opponents in the gym as well. Get us caught up on both the boys and the girls basketball side, John.
So we came back to basketball games last Wednesday, went up to Whidbey. Pretty good boys game. It was up and down affair. Great teamwork, great pressing game. Boys won going away. JV wins as well. The girls, not so much. They didn't come out of the chute well, but they would turn around and play the same team on Friday. Much better result. They did not get the W, but it was a much closer game. On the boys' side, Kings came to town.
Yeah, that was a good squad.
Yeah, and I have seen a lot of great Kings teams. I have not seen a Kings team play better together than that one did. Mm-hmm. So we weren't ready for that truck. But then there was Saturday, and on the Saturday front, down came Orcas Island on a 6 a.m. boat, which is always a great boat.
Yeah,
if you want to play an opponent, make them get on a 6 a.m. boat, because we thought we were tired. Well, they rolled in, and on the girls' side, rough first half, great second half, but not enough to overcome it. But big steps for a young girls team that really needed some confidence. They outscored them by 8 in the second half. First time we really saw them work their offense well. On the boys' side, Orcas could not stop our boys' program. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it kind of looked to me like the night before, except in reverse, right? Every time Orcas turned with the ball, there'd be an owl right in front of them, and it was great. We had great performances out of a lot of guys.
You know, we called that game, both those games, in fact, and talked about that Saturday game. Felt like a state tournament atmosphere, right? Where you have that possibility that you played the late game the night before. Oh, yeah. Maybe it didn't even go the way you wanted, and you have 16 hours or something before you got to be up and ready to play again. You got to have the level of resilience to shake that off and move forward. I thought that was a great, as tough as Friday night was, Saturday showed how mentally tough this team is.
Right, and not one player walked into that gym and said, "Oh, I'm so tired." You know, they just picked it up and said, "Let's flush last night. Let's get on to Saturday." And it's a good thing because we have 3 weekends in a row with that exact same scenario this weekend, the following weekend, where we're going to have Saturday morning games.
So 2 tough results for the boys against the teams now in front of them in conference, right? Bear Creek, home versus Kings. There's a lot to be said for playing good teams. Those are top 10 teams in the state, right? And I expect that's how things will end up. What's the upside of having that much kind of quality basketball in conference versus the downside of, taking some tough L's, right? And having to kind of claw your way out of a conference tournament, right? That's a road that not a lot of teams have to do as they think about moving on to the state level of the postseason.
Right. You can't simulate that intensity, in practice every day. I know every coach in America tries to do that. But from the standpoint of, who the beast is, right? There's actually 2 beasts. You're right. They're number, I think, 10 and 11 or 9 and 10 in state. We are number 15, by the way, as of this morning with RPI. And you've seen it. You know what to expect. And now you got to bring it. It can't be just worrying about making mistakes. It means you got to go make plays, because that's what Kings did the other night. They really put on a clinic. I don't know if they can play better than that.
No, they sure set a standard.
Right? And maybe we catch them when we're playing better than we did.
Yeah, there's times that you're super frustrated as a fan or as a player, and then there's other times you say, "Wow, that was a good squad."
Tip your hat, man.
Putting on a good display, top to bottom, and that's okay. That's what it's supposed to look like.
Right, absolutely.
So that's last week. What's coming up? It's another big week in the nest, as I heard one of the players call the gym recently.
Yeah, I heard a sophomore use that term. I thought it was really good. We'll be talking about that sophomore in a second. That said, we've got Eastside Prep tomorrow night, and that is a non-league but conference game. You know, we've played them once before. It wasn't much of a contest, but now we go into their gym. So there you go. On the girls' side too, the girls saw them in a jamboree and were able to beat them in a short game. But that's a team that's playing in a higher division than we are. So should be two very competitive games. Then we turn around and Friday night's big. You know, we'll talk about the significance in a second. But Northwest comes in. Northwest is in our division in both boys and girls. The boys in the Chinook, the girls in the Coho. So those are league games, and we need them both. So that will be fun. It'll be one of the best crowds, and we'll like I said, talk about that. And then we'll turn around and have one of those Saturday morning affairs, at least for the boys, where they get South Whidbey coming in here early, and you'll all be back for the Seahawks.
So Friday, you know, that Friday night Northwest becomes really interesting. A potential preview of a, you know, end of the conference tournament winner to that third spot in state, you know, loser out kind of situation. Those are two teams with their eye on that one of those three spots coming out of the conference.
Right, and you got to be careful because we played them on the 5th of December, and Overlake just overwhelmed them that night. Just another up and down
about
affair.
as well as Overlake's played.
Yeah, and if you're an athlete and you say, "Oh, well, it's just this," or "We'll kill them because we beat them last time," that's when you become susceptible. So they really got it. You know, the scoreboard starts at 0-0. Let's go.
And so, speaking of the big event Friday night, maybe the best segue into it is to talk about one of our standard segments, which is Who's the Athlete of the Week for this last week.
Well, the captains have chosen one Teddy Wickham. Teddy is a sophomore. He dropped a career high 18 in his first start, right?
Yep.
And that was at Whidbey, and then turned around and started the other games. He fills up the stat sheet, Mike. I'm glad they chose Teddy because we certainly have an appreciation for a guy that gets boards and drops dimes and steals the ball and occasionally looks to score, which he will do more of, he promises me. But Teddy Wickham, congratulations.
Thank you. Well earned. So it's great to have you in studio with us. I know that Friday's event, Hoops for Hope, is really important to you personally and to your family. Tell us a little bit about what Friday night's all about and why it matters to you.
Yeah, Hoops for Hope is our annual game where we raise money for cancer research in honor of my sister who passed away from brain cancer. And it's really important to me and my family. It's really special that our whole community can come together and just raise money for this thing.
Yeah, but really special to be able to just recognize and remember Daphne. She would be in this graduating class this spring. So every time that we get to love on her a little bit, it's just there's a lot of us for whom that's just a special thing to be able to do, and I imagine you more than anybody. And so, tell us a little bit about what you remember from the first time you did this last year, right? All the kind of pomp and circumstance of it, right? If someone who's coming out for the first time on Friday, what kind of stuff are they looking for?
What's the gym look like?
Well, it's great to have it fully packed out. Everyone's wearing pink and supporting, and it really helps that just when everyone shows up and really cheers. Of course it's a good basketball game, but there's also a deeper cause with it.
Yeah, we're gonna raise money for DIPG, brain cancer research, pediatric brain cancer research, and our community is behind this. We got parents and boosters who are just doing so much work behind the scenes, Mike, and I mean it's gonna be great. I'm psyched. Northwest is coming; they're excited. It's just one of those things where, yeah, you're gonna see some Friday night high school basketball, and that's awesome, but it's all for this incredible cause and tribute. But also, hey, you can win a raffle. We're going to have shootouts for prizes at halftime. The taco truck's coming. Everybody's on it. So, Teddy, glad to have you aboard with this, and And that T-shirt says it all. So
Should be good.
yeah.
We've talked a lot over the years, John, about a high school team. That's a lot of time and energy and commitment to put together, and just only pour it into wins and losses, right? The idea of being able to capture something bigger, something more important with those efforts is really neat. And I think the athletic department here has really always been on the forefront of thinking creatively about how we can be about something bigger than just playing the games.
And credit to like the whole school and the administration who wraps their arms around this and says this is really important. Let's do it.
Yeah.
You know.
So Teddy, while we got you, right, a couple of questions for you. One of the things that I mentioned on the NFHS broadcast on Saturday was that you strike me as a guy who's really easy to play with. And somebody asked me later, hey, what do you mean by that? And I thought it'd be interesting to put that to you, right? When you think about, you played a lot of basketball, you played with some of these teammates of yours for a long time. When you think about a guy that's just easy to play with, I want him on my team in a scrimmage, right? I love being on the floor at the same time. Who's that guy for you, and what are the qualities of a guy that's easy to play with?
Yeah, I mean, especially since I've known a lot of these guys on the team for a while, and I've played with them for a while, I think it makes it a lot easier to play with a lot of them. I think when we do play together, a lot of us know our own roles, and we can do what our strengths are, like what works best for us to come together to be the best possible team.
Mm-hmm. And is there a particular player? You told me off camera that you have played ball in club basketball, right, with a couple of guys. Is there a guy that, without throwing the other guy under the bus, who's a very talented player in his own right, but who do you like playing with and why?
I think playing with Xander is always awesome. I mean, he's always in the right spot. He rebounds, he hustles, he works together with the team to really just go to the common goal.
And that varsity is loaded with sophomores who are getting a lot of time right now, and that pays off not only later this season, but for the next couple of years. You guys are going to be really fun to play together. So
yeah, and we talk sometimes about, if you're a young player, right? What do you take from some things? If you're a young player, watch this guy play, right? He's a study in how you make a difference for your team without having to score 20 points every night. Right, there's guys that to get their game going, they need to get shots up, they need to get theirs, they need to be the focal point of something. And right, there's another way which, hey, you get their points when they come. You make life easier on your teammates, right? You put that pass in the shooting pocket, so things are easy for them. You rebound, you gain possessions, you can defend 4, maybe 5 spots on the court, right? There's a lot to do besides scoring, and the real basketball people understand that scoring is in some ways the easiest thing to find.
Right, absolutely. And he is going to develop into a tremendous scorer because we saw him tear up JV a year ago. So it's going to come when he actually decides that he wants to assert himself every time with that aggression. But man, you do a lot of things on the court that we appreciate as coaches. So.
Yeah. So, hey, best of luck this week, especially on Friday. I'm really glad to get to share in that event with you and your family.
Yeah, should be awesome. Thank you, guys.
And then, hey, by popular demand, we've had some requests. Is there a TOTS mailbag, right? Is there a way that we can get our questions to you? I got burning things that I want covered on TOTS. And John, we've got an answer now.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the de facto email address is mine, and I don't like giving this out all over the internet here, but it's jwiley@overlake.org, and we're getting a lot of TOTS mail. Mm-hmm. So if you've got a question that you want us to answer, or bring in somebody that might be able to answer it directly, we will do so. We'll pick some out of the mailbag every week, starting next week.
All right, get them in there. jwiley@overlake.org. Constructive criticism, also welcome. For him personally, the TOTS broadcast, the state of the programs, anything you like. For my partner, jwiley@overlake.org, I'm Mike Davidson. Thanks for joining us on 2 Owls Talking Sports.